All right, I'm just gonna say sit back and relax. This gonna be a very long video. Out of the four games I played, which is Cookie Run Kingdom, um, Genshin Impact, Withering Waves, and Honkai Star Rail, um, I feel like it's a game that is a little more slow paced and you can come back to, or if you're a person that doesn't really have that much time to play. First off will be Cookie Run Kingdom. You can kind of play at your own pace, your own time, and enjoy and relax yourself, and even uh, over time you eventually will get the cookie. You don't necessarily have to summon on the banners that they have. You could just save up over time, wait till the banner ends and summon, and you will eventually down the road get the cookie. The only thing that I have about Cookie Run Kingdom is the buildings kind of thing is a little bit tedious for the upgrade for your cookies. Now, just the regular upgrade for cookies by themselves is pretty good and pretty straightforward. And just make sure that you have an account through Devsters when you play Cookie Run Kingdom so it can save your account. You can also save it through Google Play, but I prefer Devster. So if anything happens, you can switch over to another device and have an account through Devsters that's in place. Now I'm putting this as number two, but I would rather like to put it as number one, Withering Waves. I love playing Withering Waves, because I would say they summoning is a little bit well, Cookie Run is more straightforward on the summoning, but Withering Waves will be right behind it. Like, it's straightforward. They do have the 50-50 and straight up 80, you gonna get a character, period. Um, I like the characters in Withering Waves. The designs are beautiful. The animations are beautiful. Now, the only downside I would say to Withering Waves, they do have quality issues, slash possible lagging, but it's not like bad, but like quality as in pixels. So you kind of have to adjust your device to the game. But the characters are really fun, and I like Withering Waves because they at least have a lot of events. Like, they at least be having 10 to 12 or more events going, and some events roll over. So if you miss an event, they have a permanent spot where you can come back if you need some more. And it does have co-op, if you are interested in that, where you can have people roll through your world, and you know if they need materials, if you need materials, you can go back to theirs, and it's actually back and forth no matter what level it is if you interested in something like that. I kind of like that because eventually I'm gonna need some help on trying to find some chests. There's a couple of areas. Now I will say the chest finder is a little bit weird, but most of the time you'll come across a chest, and you know, and it has puzzles and other stuff. So it's a game that kind of make you think. Storyline, I'll probably give it about a 7. Same with Cookie Run Kingdom, also storyline 7. Next will be um Honkai Star Rail. Honkai Star Rail, that is another kind of game that you can kind of um take some time off and come back to. Um, I like the character designs, even though uh Honkai Star Rail do have a little bit of controversy with some of their characters. But I still like the designs, and also once again it's kind of like pretty straightforward on the building. You just, you might run out of running material a little bit faster than the others. That's the only thing about Honkai Star Rail, that it just take a little bit and you done for a while. But when you are building a character, it's also pretty much straightforward. It's just a lot of materials. The globes or something that look like a little ornament, those are kind of really hard to get. So, but you can at least level up your character halfway enough to continue to play the game. Only thing is, you do have to worry about upgrading your world. You will have to be ready how you upgrade your world for the strength of your characters. Um, I still need to upgrade my world a little bit more, but I also haven't completed enough quests, and I need to go back on some things before I decide to upgrade my world and be making my characters, the monsters and bosses, a little bit too strong. So, uh, hold off on upgrading your world and see how you have a feel for Honkai Star Rail. Story quest for Honkai Star Rail. Now, I had to lower my rating on it. Unfortunately, I'm gonna give it like maybe a 5, because I feel like um now that they have a skip button, you can get through most of it. But for me, honestly, if I had to really say quest wise, out of all of them, Amphorius and probably anything that has to do with Don Hung or Lune, or in that, it was the best storyline. The rest of them is kind of like meh for me. Okay, but now lastly, we gonna go on and get into Genshin Impact. Unfortunately, Genshin Impact has went down to fourth for me, because I still really love playing Genshin Impact. I love the open world concept. And I love some of the character designs, even though they kind of getting a little bit repetitive with the designs as of now. Um, and you can also take your time on building characters, but it's a little bit more harder and long running. And also the biggest issue with Genshin Impact, if that is, they refuse to do a skip button. Where all the other games, if you want to skip through some dialogue, skip through a whole part and go on, uh, unfortunately, Genshin hasn't got to that point, and their quests are a little bit too long for people to have time to play it. But if you just want to save up to get characters and run around the world destroying stuff and monsters, it even has a teapot area where you can build houses and put your characters to upgrade. The upgrading for characters is a little bit more difficult than the others to me. And but I still love Genshin. I'm mainly gonna continue to play Genshin for strictly teapot. But as far as the world thing as well, you have to be careful about upgrading your world, because where one person from another world, if they a little bit higher, you have to go into somebody else's world, so it's not a crossover, which is kind of frustrating. You got to make friends to get materials and stuff, but overall, I just like running around and destroying stuff, so it gives me a little bit more freedom to do that. So, up to you. But that's my take on all four games. Hope that helps. Thank you.